Menu music is one of the most important parts of the Call of Duty multiplayer experience because it's something you're going to be listening to a lot of your time playing the game, because you're spending a lot of your time just sitting in the menus, whether you're making custom classes or just waiting for your friends to join the lobby. And with the release of the Black Ops 6 multiplayer beta, we got to hear what the menu music is going to sound like for Black Ops 6's multiplayer, and I thought it'd be a great time to go through and rank every single multiplayer theme from Call of Duty history. Now, there are quite a few Call of Duty games that do have multiple multiplayer menu music, and for those games, we're just kind of including all of them into just one ranking. And this is the multiplayer menu music, so we are not ranking the zombies menu music or the campaign menu music, at least not in this video. And last thing I want to say is that even some of the music that's going to be a bit lower on this list is still really damn good, because Call of Duty rarely misses when it comes to its soundtracks, so expect most of the music on this list to be music that I really love. In last place is going to be Modern Warfare 2 2022. This is one of the worst soundtracks from Call of Duty's history, at least in my own personal opinion. I think it just didn't really hit the mark the way it should have, and when it comes to the multiplayer menu music, it just doesn't hit. It just never hit. It kind of felt like it was remixing a lot of the different themes from Modern Warfare 2019, but in a way that just didn't really feel the same. It didn't have that same tone to it, and it almost felt like it was trying to go for something different while still remixing similar motifs, and I personally just wasn't a fan of it. They did introduce some different menu music throughout the life cycle, and sometimes it was a bit better, but in general, I just wasn't crazy about this. I don't think it worked for me for the most part. In number 17 spot is going to be Modern Warfare 3 2023. I think this is just slightly better than Modern Warfare 2 2022, but it still has its own issues where I just don't feel like it's that incredible to listen to. And they also did introduce some new themes throughout the season, and a lot of times they're just tonally inconsistent. They try to throw in some music that almost has like a rap feel to it. And I just don't think it really works with the Call of Duty tone. I'm just not a big fan of it. And we haven't really gotten a season yet where I felt like the music was that incredible or even that memorable. In number 16 spot is going to be Call of Duty Ghosts. And I actually do like the original Ghosts multiplayer theme. I think it's pretty decent, but then they also added some different themes throughout each of the DLCs. And I just don't think any of the other themes were nearly as good as the original one, which thankfully is the one that they stuck with from now on. So if you ever play a Ghost, you're gonna hear the original theme from it. And I think it's fine. I just don't think it's anything too special. Obviously, it doesn't help that throughout most of the life cycle, we were listening to different menu music. So I think this one just doesn't have that nostalgic feel that a lot of other menu musics do, because sometimes those menu musics will stay throughout the entire life cycle, whereas for Ghosts, it was only for a certain period of time where you had this music. In number 15 spot, I have Advanced Warfare. Now, Advanced Warfare has actually a lot of menu music that they kind of just cycle through, and if you actually listen to the entire track, it's like 20 minutes worth of music. It's kind of crazy, and I think some of it's good, so when you get like the good parts, it's like really solid, but then there's other parts that just don't hit whatsoever, and I don't think have much of an interesting tone to it, but it fits the game quite well, so I'll give it that. In number 14 spot, I've got Call of Duty 4. I know that might sound insane to put COD 4 here, but to be honest, I don't think it's that great. I think it's kind of repetitive, and it also is the campaign menu music as well. When you're just on the actual main loading screen, it's the exact same music, and I don't know, it feels kind of repetitive. Like, I feel like it's the type of music that kind of recycles itself quite a bit, and I get it was an early COD, so I guess it makes sense. It's definitely iconic music, don't get me wrong. I just don't personally love it as much as some of these other themes. In number 13 spot, I've got World at War. This actually is kind of the opposite of COD 4 because the multiplayer menu music is actually different than the campaign menu music, but I personally just don't feel like it's got that much good music. When you actually sit there on the menu in World at War, most of it is actually kind of silent and it's just kind of like ambient noise, which is fine, but it's not really like music. There's some music there, don't get me wrong, and when the music is there, it's pretty good, but a lot of it's also just ambience, so it's kind of hard for me to rank it as music when most of it's not really music. I know the menu music in the campaign is amazing, but that's not the multiplayer. In number 12 spot, I've got Black Ops 3's Ignition. Now, the problem with Black Ops 3 is that they introduced music tracks, which isn't really a problem, I guess, because that was an amazing feature where you can listen to all of the zombies' Easter egg songs just on the main menu screen. It was such a cool thing, but obviously that kind of made the menu music less impactful and less important because I was just listening to Easter egg songs in the menus instead, which I really love, don't get me wrong, that's a great feature, but it did kind of make the Ignition music kind of just fall to the wayside a little bit, and it definitely is iconic and it definitely is very memorable, but I think there's just way better ones that we've heard throughout the Call of Duty franchise, and I do think the music tracks feature definitely played a role in it as well. In number 11 spot, I've got Vanguard. Vanguard's music is incredibly underrated. Bear McCreary did an amazing job with the soundtrack in this game, and that definitely extended to the multiplayer menu music. They did change it every season, kind of like the recent games have all been doing, and I'm okay with that because honestly, all the music that they've done throughout that life cycle was actually really damn good and fit the tone of the game really damn well. So even though I didn't play a lot of Vanguard and it doesn't really feel as iconic as some other themes are, it definitely is solid music that I would listen to on occasion. In number 10 spot, I've got Modern Warfare 2019. Just like Vanguard, you had new music each season, and honestly, most of it was pretty damn good. So even though you didn't have that one specific theme that was like staying throughout the entire life cycle, it didn't matter because all of the menu music was just so good and so memorable in their own way. And it kind of like gave each season its own feel, and because all the music was memorable and iconic, if you show me any menu music from this game, I will be able to tell you what season it's from just by listening to like 5 seconds of it. In number 9 spot, I've got Black Ops 1. This is kind of similar to COD 4, where I do feel like this menu music gets a little repetitive, but it's incredible. It is so iconic. It is some of the best music you will ever hear in the Call of Duty franchise. So I gotta give it credit where credit's due. I think the rest of the menu music here is all incredible, so definitely you can change this list all you want, and honestly, I probably wouldn't even disagree. Except for the top 3 though, I feel like those are pretty set in stone for me, at least at this current point. In number 8 spot, I've got Modern Warfare 3. And like I said before, this is iconic music from here on out, and this one is no different. It is incredible, incredible music. I just think the top ones are just a bit better, but I really have nothing to complain about here with MW3's music. I love it so much. It's so iconic, so beautiful. Love it. In number 7 spot is going to be Modern Warfare 2. Now, just like some of the other ones I've mentioned, this one could get a little repetitive, but at the same time, it is some of the best music from the Call of Duty franchise, so I really don't care if it's a little repetitive. It's oddly really soothing music. I don't know what it is, but this is some very soothing Call of Duty menu music. In number 6 spot is Infinite Warfare. Now, Infinite Warfare was really interesting because they actually had different menu music depending on which mission team you were a part of at that moment, which I thought was really cool because instead of it being by season like it was for some of the recent Call of Duties, it was just whatever mission team you were currently working on is the type of menu music you would hear. And of course, the music was kind of tailored to what that mission team was like, what the tone of that mission team was like. When you were playing as Blood Anvil, for example, the music got really dark and dreary. But when you're playing as some of the other ones, it's a bit more, lighthearted. Not necessarily too lighthearted, but you know what I mean? It was a little more calmer, and it's just such great music all around. Sarah Schachner did such a fantastic job with the soundtrack within Infinite Warfare. In the number 5 spot is Black Ops 4's Inferno. So now we're getting to some of the really incredible ones. This top 5 is like all the masterpieces, and Inferno is so incredible. I feel like this one's kind of underrated. Everyone's always talking about the ones that are considered the goats of menu music, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but everyone always forgets about Black Ops 4's Inferno. I feel like this one is so damn good. It really pumps you up before a match of multiplayer, which I feel like is the best kind of menu music. Like I've said, some of the other ones kind of calm you a little bit, but I love the ones that just pump you up and get you so excited to play the game. In the 4th spot is going to be World War II. World War II has such incredible music all around. The whole game soundtrack is amazing, but they chose the best menu music to have for the multiplayer. It is so heroic, the music. It fits the World War II era like perfectly, and I can't think of any better music that this game could have had for its main multiplayer theme. I think it's the main theme of the whole game. Like they just decided, okay, this is our main theme, we're going to also use it for multiplayer, which was fine by me because it is incredible music. It's a pretty long piece of music too, but it never gets repetitive. It's such good music. And in the number 3 spot is going to be Black Ops 6's Raining the Fire. I was not expecting BO6 to come out with one of the best multiplayer themes we've ever heard before, but they did. Jack Wall absolutely nailed it. I believe Brian Toohey did some work on it as well. It is such an incredible piece of music. It has been stuck in my head this entire week ever since playing the beta, and I cannot wait to have a whole year of this music. They better not change it. Treyarch usually doesn't change their menu music. Actually, they really never changed it, so they're going to probably keep this throughout the whole year, and I can't wait because it is not going to get old. This music is going to embed itself into my brain, and I'm so excited for that. In the number 2 spot is going to be Black Ops 2's Adrenaline. I know a lot of people would put this in the number 1 spot, but believe me, there's one that I think is just a little bit better, but obviously Adrenaline is incredible. It is so iconic and it fits the game perfectly, and just like Raining the Fire, it really pumps you up for this game. It is so incredible, and I will never get sick of it. In the number 1 spot is going to be Black Ops Cold War's Rising Tide. I'm a huge fan of 80s synth music, and this is exactly that, and it is beautiful. It is such a long piece of music that never gets old for me. And the crazy thing is, Cold War actually does have the music tracks just like Black Ops 3 has, except it doesn't have nearly as much music, but it still has some, and it is not a problem whatsoever because I still absolutely prefer the original menu music for this game. So I don't even put on the music tracks. I just listen to this the whole time, and it is incredible. When it first came out, it was stuck in my head for like a good month, and I don't think it ever left since. So I'm just obsessed obsessed with it, and I can't get enough of this type of music. That is going to do it for this ranking. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your ranking. If you'd like to see me do the same type of video, but for the zombies music, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace out.